in Dr. Ngao Motsei's book, Building Psychologically Safe Spaces, Safeguarding Your Workplace Against Bullying. She teaches us how to make sense of workplace bullying. Dr. Motsei says her in-depth work on the subject, along with her personal experiences, has shown her that in the same way a bully can be reformed, so can a target find healing. The book serves as a guide for both to and for those who want to find solutions. And Dr. Motsei is in studio. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank
The
you.
one thing that I found reading just the back, it says you start by removing the confusion around what precisely constitutes bullying in the workplace, a behavior that is often defined as, that is very difficult to define. Take us through that. Why is it always so difficult to define bullying in the workplace?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. Part of the reason is that there's confusion around, there's a lot of intersectionality. For example, the way bullying sometimes comes through harassment. Mm-hmm. It shares certain similarities with harassment. And it's also nuanced. Sometimes it's nuanced. It's not quite covert or overt, where for example, behavior such as withholding information, critical information that's required for somebody to do their work well. And I see you smiling. I'm curious to know why you're smiling. And it also, it comes in a form of being blocked for opportunities. But the operable word, one of the things that actually, where the behavior crosses to bullying, is that it is not consistent. Okay. In other words, that behavior is only limited to me, but it's not consistent with how, for example, the abrasive leader accused of bullying or the bullying boss behaves towards others. So that's also part of what the confusion is. Having said that, though, there is agreement as to three critical factors that actually defines bullying, that everybody agrees that it is bullying. First of all, it is behavior that is welcome, that erodes dignity. Okay. It's also behavior that is almost like intended to cause fear. Fear to submit, because if there's something that I'm wanting for you to do, or if I'm threatened, I see you as a threat, or that you're taking the light from me, then I do certain the way I behave towards you is treat you in a way that causes fear and forces you to submit. And the other thing is that it depends, it's consistent, it happens over a period of time. And the other factor is that it almost like it depends, because the more it happens, and what tends to happen is that we don't talk enough about bullying, or even when it's reported, leaders tend to do nothing about it. Therefore, it continues and it deepens. And then, of course, the last bit is that because it happens over time, over a period of time, you start to see a pattern. There's some kind of pattern behavior as to how this manifests.
And what are some of the misconceptions about bullies? And are bullies born? Would you find somebody that was a bully in high school and they take that into their adulthood, and it just so happens that they're also bosses too? Are you finding that could be the case too?
No, I don't think a bully is born. I'm still one of those that believes in the innate goodness of people. Okay. This is one of the reasons I actually, in my work, I work with bullies. I work with abrasive leaders that have been accused of bullying, because I do believe that anybody can change. This is why you'll see or hear in my language, I refer to them as abrasive leaders accused of bullying or bullying bosses, because bullying and abrasion is a behavior, and by its very nature, behavior can change. It's not somebody's identity. When you call somebody a bully, it almost like infers that's that person's identity. Nobody is born a bully. sometimes, unless you, of course, you're a narcissist,
Yeah.
you know, because people that are narcissists, there isn't much that you can do with them. They are just narcissists. I'm not sure if they're born that way or it's also conditioning along the way. But what I found in my work with the people accused of bullying is that many of them are actually not aware that what they are doing, the behavior, that behavior is bullying. And it's not unusual for again, many that I speak to, that I get to work with, first of all, to say, I'm not a bully, I'm just a tough manager.
Yeah.
I managed performance tough. And my comeback is that, and so you should manage performance, because as a leader and as a manager, you are meant to manage performance. But it's in the conduct. It's in how you do that. You can still get results without leaving blood on the floor, as it were. So this is what I find. And as to whether it starts from kindergarten or from the school grounds into the boardrooms, perhaps there might be some kind of, that's a story, maybe that's my next book, worth exploring. Because what tends to happen is that people that are bullying got to where they are by behaving that way. So it gave them results. And you could also say that certain, organizations, we live in an environment, tough workplaces with tough economic, and people are still expected to produce results with less. So there are various reasons why people get to do that, and because it got them results, why change something that is not broken?
Right.
However, it's not sustainable, because what tends to happen, also one of the indicators that there's something wrong here is that typically you'd find that the organization loses a lot of talent. Many people leave the organization, and it gives credence to the saying, people leave bosses, not organizations.
Let's talk about who this book is aimed at. Who are you targeting with this book?
In fact, it's targeted to anybody in organizations. Anybody that reads it, if you're a leader, you can find yourself in there. In fact, as a matter of fact, some of the people, the feedback that I've been getting, some of the leaders that I know in the industry have said, I was reading this, I actually thought for a moment, am I doing this? So it is also meant for people to be reflective and to examine. So it's also meant for targets, people that have, I don't like calling them victims, targets of bullying, and it's also for bystanders and anybody really in the ecosystem of the organization. All
right, Dr. Motsei, thank you so much for your informative book. Dr. Ngao Motsei is our author today, and she has written a book, Building Psychologically Safe Spaces, Safeguarding the Workplace, or rather your workplace, against bullying.